Crowhill here. Stay tuned for a special excerpt from a recent episode covering the Trump assassination attempt.
Well, I didn't... We could have done a News for Booze.
Yeah.
On...
The Trump assassination attempt.
Yes, but I just felt like everybody in the world's doing it, but I still couldn't keep my lips closed. Yeah. We have to say something about it, and can I start?
Yes.
You took a philosophy class, and there even if you only took a 101 philosophy class, there is going to be a section on ethics.
Yes.
And there will be something like this that says, yes, we all know that murder is wrong.
Yeah.
But what if you had a time machine?
Yeah.
How does the rest of this thing go?
Yeah. If you could go back in time and kill Hitler before he,
Okay, so that's what everybody has done it because it's the standard story of saying that no standards actually exist.
Everybody has asked this question.
There is an exception to things, and so there's no in ethics.
Yeah.
It's not 100%. Yada yada yada. So this is 100 level.
This is what we call sophomoric, because this is the kind of thing sophomores talk about.
Precisely.
Right.
That's what the term means.
Yes.
And then, so what if the entire political class on one side, in one party, all of the heads, all of the mainstream media, who is just a wing of this party, calls somebody Hitler for 8 years?
Right.
What do you think... What do you think you're saying?
Yeah.
What do you think you're saying? You've got 81 million Democrat voters. You don't think somebody out there takes you seriously and applies this level of sophomoric philosophy?
It's not just that he's Hitler. It's also, this will be the last election.
Is it the end basically the end of America?
This is the end of America. This is the end of democracy. He's going to be a dictator for life.
Yes.
I mean, the kinds of things that the left have been saying about Trump are precisely, this guy must be destroyed one way or another.
Yes, and you've used that language throughout without actually saying it. You've implied it. You are the guy who pulled the trigger is responsible, but you are 100% complicit in this.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, if I walk into a bad neighborhood and have $100 bills stapled all over my body, right? And somebody comes up and robs me. Well, it's his fault. But boy, I'm an idiot for doing that. And that's exactly the same kind of a thing, is when people are saying, this guy's Hitler, this guy's, all these things. Well, you are setting up the situation where somebody is going to...
A threat. End of democracy, end of everything. And you are 100% complicit in this.
Yes.
And you are disgusting human beings who have still not acknowledged your complicity.
Yes. Yeah. And this is the kind of thing that the media frequently tosses against the right, where they'll say that you created a climate of hate for blah, 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 blah. And, I mean...
While people on your side have been rioting on your behalf for months... And you continue to warn about right-wing violence that simply never happens.
Yeah, isn't it interesting that after someone tried to kill Trump, there hasn't been a riot? No city has been set on fire? If somebody tried to kill Biden, what would the left have done?
Well, yeah, imagine the riots that are going to take place outside of the Democratic National Convention from right-wingers. Now, there will be the pro-Hamas terrorist lovers out there rioting in the streets, but they won't be MAGA types.
No. But this isn't precisely the topic we wanted to talk about today. I mean, it is an important topic, understanding that the Democrats and the media, but I repeat myself, have really set this up. But the real question is, what in the world happened here?
You want to get to the nuts and bolts?
Yeah.
Thank you.
How could this possibly have happened?
With a $200 drone from Home Depot, you could have surveyed the crowd. You don't need. Of course, you have helicopters at your disposal. You don't even need that.
Yeah.
And nobody was looking from above to see if there are any threats?
First, the very same night of the assassination attempt, we knew, based on that BBC report with that one guy, that there was this one guy saying, look, we were pointing. We were saying, there's this guy with a gun right up here, minutes before the shot.
There's video of people pointing, going, there's a guy up there.
Yeah, but it's only gotten worse since then. So that was the night of the shooting.
Yeah.
That we knew
that was already out?
That was out the very night of the shooting. But since then, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And the latest, from what I heard today, was that police knew about this guy an hour before Trump even got on the stage.
We're following him and then lost track of him.
Yeah, and we knew he had a gun and he was a suspicious character.
I didn't care. We're just waltzing around with a 40-foot ladder?
Yeah. Well, actually...
What was the ladder situation?
What I heard today was that there's some dispute about whether he actually had a ladder.
Where'd the ladder come from? How did he get on the roof? I mean, I saw a picture of a ladder leading to the roof.
I did see a picture of a ladder also, but so Dan Bongino today said that he's not so sure about whether he brought his own ladder or he found some other way up to the roof. But anyway, there were so many failures where some of it could have been coordination between the non-Secret Service people and the Secret Service people. So
right. Look, I mean, Secret Service is responsible for X, and then beyond that is our local agencies, which are 100% coordinating with one another. That's
and they're
how
supposed to be, right?
And they all are on the same frequency, and everybody knows we're responsible for this area, and you're responsible for that area. Mm-hmm. How'd you F that up?
Right. So once they had some suspicious character that they were chasing around, why did they, knowing that, why did they let Trump onto the stage?
That's the point. I've heard people say, I mean, why didn't they just take the guy out? I'm like, no, that's
not necessary.
No. You just don't start
just delay it for 10 minutes.
So is there a cop that confronts the guy and then the guy points a gun at him and he backs off and...
Yeah, that happened.
Right? Yeah. I mean, yes, you just go... Sorry, we're going to delay. We're going to delay the speech until we take care of this anomalous thing. It might be right. I think we've got a guy who might have a telescopic camera taking pictures.
Right.
We don't want to murder him, but let's not put Trump on the stage until we find out what's going on. How about that idea?
Yeah. So there were so many opportunities way before the event even started for them to say, hey, we need to resolve this before we put a presidential candidate out in this position. And it's almost unbelievable how incompetent they were in that respect. So I have another angle on this, which is the DEI angle. And I have two different ways to look at this. One, everybody has seen on the one hand, I don't want to criticize these people. They have taken an oath to lay their lives down to protect the president, and it's an honorable thing. And, I on the one hand, I feel bad criticizing them because they're trying to do honest work. On the other hand,
you don't belong there.
Yeah, you're short, you're fat, you don't know how to holster your weapon. You can't protect the president the way a 6'2" guy can.
Right. Here's this picture here of a woman, a chubby woman, nervously looking around, and the the words are, "Some badass Green Beret or Navy SEAL was passed up for Melissa McCarthy."
Yeah.
And it does kind of look like a sitcom, a buddy comedy movie with her dumpy, nervous, fat ass.
Yes.
What in the world?
What
in the world is she doing on this detail? Right. And why is there even a woman in charge, the head of?
Well, that's another thing I want to get to.
Well, please.
So the first thing is, why were these short, not very, very talented women on this detail to begin with?
So President F's sake.
I know.
I mean, I'm sure. Aren't there other details that they could fumble around on?
Yeah, so that's
Jill Biden for him.
Then the other problem is the woman who's in charge of the Secret Service right now.
Yeah,
she apparently has this big initiative. She wants to get 30% of the Secret Service to be women by some date.
That's garbage.
And so she has this big chip on her shoulder.
Yeah,
she's like, I want to get more women in this position. So
wrong.
Yeah, so
zero women.
Think about it from this perspective. for her to resign, she has obviously failed. She should, anybody with any sense of self-respect should have resigned after this failure.
You mean like after the Afghanistan debacle and all those people that were fired and resigned?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it's
right.
it's
no, nobody gets fired. Nobody takes any responsibility in government. But if she had any honor, she would resign and move along. But here's the thing. She's looking at this as, I'm promoting women. I have a mission. Her mission is not protecting the people of the Secret Services. Her mission is, I need to promote women in
If this
thing.
doesn't put a nail in DEI, nothing ever will.
Well,
this is everything that is wrong.
Yeah.
Not only it's not like you're promoting a crappy widget maker who doesn't deserve the position of the head widget maker in the widget factory, which is in itself wrong.
Yes.
Now you're going to we've already gone to the second most important person on the planet, the vice president. Everything is about who making somebody feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
How about performing the damn job?
Yeah.
From widget maker to Secret Service.
Yeah. It's honestly, I could go on about this for an hour because it's so unbelievable. Now, there's one other thing we have to address, which is, it is so unbelievable that some people say, because it's so unbelievable, it had to be more than what it seems to be.
I am so sympathetic. I'm painfully sympathetic with the people that say this level of buffoonery is impossible.
Yeah.
It could only be explained by intent.
Yeah.
And that this was a setup. And if I could stand back and objectively look at the matter, I would say you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like my desire for it to not be true is what's keeping me from going full conspiracy. For some reason, I still have enough faith in the institutions of the state that I'm going to say it can't possibly be true. But if I were strictly looking at the facts, I would say this is a setup.
Well,
couldn't possibly be this.
Let me tell you why I don't believe that
Please,
that it
talk
was a
me
setup.
off of this.
So, you've heard of Occam's razor.
Yes.
That the simplest explanation should be preferred, right? There's also something called Hanlon's razor. And Hanlon's razor says, never attribute to malice what can be attributed to incompetence.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right.
Both of those should be at the front of all your evaluations, really.
So when I look at this thing, yes, it seems so incomprehensibly stupid and incompetent that it's like it begs you to believe a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
However, if I stop and say, well, wait a minute, what kind of incompetence could it be? It could be something like, every cop movie, every cop TV show has this tension about the feds coming in and taking over the local jurisdiction, right? There's always the local guys are doing something, then the feds come in and take it over, and there's like this conflict between them, right? So it's very easy to imagine some bureaucratic thing that says, no, we're going to give that to the locals and we're not going to intervene, right?
Crenshaw was very forgiving.
Yes, he was.
And this is a military guy, right? He's a Marine, he's been in battle and everything else and understands the chain of command, and he's like, look, can you imagine if it's a guy with a telescope that you just shot the head off of a Trump fan who just wanted to get the best picture that exactly. he could, and I was surprised that he was as
forgiving as he could be. So I think we really need to lean towards it's just some stupid misunderstanding and incompetence. Yes. I think,
but it takes all of my being.
Yes, it takes a lot of effort.
And all of my faith in America.
It takes a lot of effort to get to that conclusion. Thanks so much for listening to Beer and Conversation with Pigweed and Crowhill. Remember to visit us at pigweedandcrowhill.com or send us an email at pigweedshow@gmail.com.